Welcome everyone. So this is going to be a little bit different. I am doing a tarot reading today, not for a zodiac sign like I normally do, but today I'm going to try to reach out for people who explicitly are going through a tough time and need help. Why? Just because I was guided to. I just felt a calling to do it. I feel like there's someone out there who needs a message. I don't know who, but I'm just getting that feeling. I'm not even sure who or where. But here we go. This reading is going to be for people who are going through a hard time, who just need to hear this message. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's in the usual format. The way I deal out my cards is in the format of head, heart, back, hands, and feet. So these are each positions that are relevant to your life, but I'm going to explain that as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. So the first position I'm going to flip over here is going to talk about the recent past, stuff that's been going on with you guys, and I call this the position of the back. So I have here the Two of Wands coupled with the Oracle card of the Cat. So this is a choice, and this is a choice that we are very careful about making. I'm not sure why we're being very careful. Maybe there's a lot at stake. Maybe you guys are just that, maybe that's your personality. You guys are just careful people, but it's a choice. Maybe it's just a very important choice. Let me pull some cards and see, okay, that was fast. See what about this choice, why we're so hesitant to make this choice, why we're so careful about this choice. So I had the house come out here. So it's either literally about your house, probably not the case for most of you, but the house is about your identity. It's about who you are, what you identify yourself as, how you see yourself, maybe even what group you put yourself into. It's your identity. So this is a choice regarding your identity. On the bottom, the mask. The mask is like an aesthetic thing. It could just be like the way people see you, right? It's kind of tied to your identity. It's tied to almost like your reputation or the way people see you, the way people acknowledge you, Let's see what's on top and see if there's any more information I can get out of this. All right. Wait, did I just pull from the bottom? That's okay. The bottom tells me information too. I just pulled from the bottom, which is weird. I'm going to go with that because I think that means something. So I have here the book and then the number 1. It's funny because it's like we're still figuring out who we are. The book is learning. It's information. The number 1 is again referring to ourselves. It's like Aries energy. It's who we are. Our unique person, right? Number 1. Let's keep going. I don't want to be stuck in the past. This is the recent past, by the way. So now I'm moving into the present. But there are a couple of different positions here in the present. Where I want to start is I think I want to take a look at the position of the heart. This is going to tell me what you guys are, how you guys are feeling, what your emotions are like, what's riling up your emotions, your emotional state. So I have Virgo with the Ace of Swords. This is pretty much being stuck on something very specific. It's like, how do I put this? It's like if there's a way that you want to be seen, it's a very specific image, okay? A very specific image that you feel people either need to see you as or you need to show yourself as. Let me pull more cards on this. Because Virgo is aesthetics. So I'm getting like a double dose of aesthetics, how people see you here. And with the sword, it is about showing yourself and being visible, making it a point to do so. Tell me about Virgo with the Ace of Swords. We want to show who we are. And it's part of this decision that we've been mulling over in the recent past that we're really careful about making that has to do with our identity, okay? So we have the rabbit. On the bottom is Neptune. So the rabbit is pertaining, it talks about, it's just like, it's talking about everybody. It's the peoples, right? Like the bourgeoisie. That's kind of how I see the rabbit in this deck. So this is like showing yourself to everyone. You want the masses to see you in a specific way. It's got like a reputation vibe, okay? And then on the bottom is Neptune with the number 3. I don't think that this is the case yet. I don't think that this has been made clear that your identity is such. You want to make it more clear that you are blank, that you let me think of an example. You know, I'm gonna pick a very relevant example right now. Let's say you are wavering between your gender aesthetic, right? Maybe you're thinking about going like non-binary or I actually don't know all the terms, but where you're fluid, like the way you look, right? Maybe you're thinking about transitioning your gender aesthetic. That could be it, but you haven't either done it yet, or everyone hasn't acknowledged the way that you want to be seen yet. But this is about a choice on the way people perceive you. All right, let's keep going because I feel like I've been slowing down here. I don't want to get stuck. Let's go on to the next position. The next position is going to be this one here. It's the position of the head. It talks about your thought process at the moment. What you guys are just thinking about. What's on your mind? So we have Sagittarius with the 7 of Wands. This is making a plan. A plan that you can feel confident about. Just a plan that you can get behind. A plan that you can feel confident about. A plan that isn't going to like rock the boat. Let me draw another card here really quick. Let's do one card. Anything else about Sagittarius and the Wand here? What is this plan? Again, I feel like it's tied to the cat. Remember, it's a careful plan because it was a careful choice, and now this is a careful plan. Maybe you guys are just careful people. Tell me about the Sagittarius with the 7 of Wands here. Tell me about Sagittarius with the 7 of Wands. Tell me about Sagittarius with the 7 of Wands, please. Hold on, let me put both my feet on the ground. That helps. Okay. Tell me about Sagittarius with the 7 of Wands, please. Oh, there we go. So we have the bread. You feel like this is something you need to do. The bread is necessity. You don't have a choice. The question is, how are you going to go about it? You're trying to make a plan to go about it in the best way that you can. You just know you have to do this. I feel like you've made the choice, but now this is about how to execute it and show everyone that you've made the choice, because you have to. It's time. You've been keeping it, so on the bottom we have the wall. You've been keeping it like behind closed doors, right? Maybe you've made a choice, but you haven't let everybody know, and now you really want to let everybody know. In fact, you need to let everybody know. It's like the bread speaks of necessity. Let me see what else is on top. Okay, Universal Hexagram. The Universal Hexagram is about spirituality, higher spirituality, being aligned with your higher self. You just know that you have to do this for you because it's right for you. That's what it means to be aligned with your spiritual self, in my opinion, is knowing, being in tune with what's right for you, your unique self, and like understanding that. Okay, let's keep going. So the next position is still in the present, and then before I get into the future, I'm going to leave the future for last. So let's flip over this one here. This is the position of the hand. This talks about your actions, just what you guys are doing, or what circumstances are right in your face that you guys are facing. So I have here the 9 of Pentacles with Pisces. You guys are in a good place. See, this is the thing, is this is like independent. The 9 of Pentacles is about independence. So you're financially independent, or it could be that you are see, I'm going to need a card on this because Pisces makes this, it's like, are you financially independent? Maybe there's a question there. We're not sure. Maybe you're not sure. Okay. So we have the Princess. So I feel like this is you. This is part of a maturing process. You're trying to mature. You're trying to become independent, be your own person. Trying to be your own person, but you are kind of still figuring out who that is. Maybe you haven't completely made this choice yet, or maybe this is just sort of an ongoing process, right? You make a choice, you're making a plan, you want to be seen, but you're also at the same time still figuring out the specifics of who you are. Let's see what else is on top. All right, so we have the volcano. We have again, we have the mask, which talks about your aesthetics. So you're still figuring out who you want to look like, right? What you want to look like. And that's tied to that. With the number 5, It could be that you want big changes. You want to make big changes to your look, to your aesthetic. But at the same time, you haven't settled on it yet. You haven't settled on what those changes are yet, and maybe that's why you want to show people, but at the same time you're not, because you haven't quite settled yet. And there's a plan here, though. Let's see what's going to happen in the short-term future, and then I am going to pull advice for you guys. So let's see what's coming up for you guys in the short-term future. This is called the position of the foot. It's kind of like what you're headed towards, right? Where you're walking towards. So we have the Two of Swords with Taurus. Baby steps. This is making baby steps. This is like squeak. One squeak at a time. Because Two of Swords is speaking. It's conversation. But with Taurus, it's like one peep at a time, right? We're not telling everyone everything all at once. We are telling people tiny bits and pieces. One word of the sentence, maybe every time we see them. You know, it's like we're not saying everything all at once. Tell me about this Taurus with the Two of Swords. We're slow to say the whole story. Tell me about the number 5. Could be that we're trying to avoid conflict. It could be that we are just trying to avoid like jarring people or being too causing a stir. Causing a stir. We're trying to avoid causing a stir. Let's see what else. Again, we got the mask. The mask keeps coming up because, again, this all has to do with your aesthetic. I feel like you're tying your identity to your aesthetic. Something about this is tied to the way you look, fundamentally. And you must, you know, I feel like, yeah, so, you know, the way you look is or isn't important, depending on how much importance you put it in. And I think to you, it is important. So we have here the mask, the brain, and then Jupiter. Yeah, we're still thinking about, well, how do we want to look? Look at this. How do we want to look? Jupiter, what's going to be the aesthetic that fits us, that where we look good, that we feel good? Let's pick up all these cards and move on to advice. Yeah, and see if we can get any more information on this. Alright, so let's take a look. Can I have some advice for whoever needs to hear this, whoever's having a tough time making this choice, making this change to your aesthetic, who's like maybe I feel like you guys are being really careful about it, really slow, but it's for a good reason. It's because you guys haven't quite, you're not confident in exactly, it's like growing pains, like, you just haven't figured out. How can you share who you are if you haven't figured out what that looks like yet yourself, right? But you want to. Can I have some advice here for the person whose message that was for? You have some advice here for whoever that was for. Okay? King of Swords. Care less. Don't give a shit about how you look. You know, I feel like it's important to feel good about how you look, but don't care so much that what other people think or just like the surface, you know? Let me see what else I get. Knight of Swords. You think too much about it. You're hung up on aesthetics way too much. It's more about like what you embody than what you look like. That's my opinion. That part's my opinion. But this is saying care less. That's King of Swords, is don't give a shit. The 4. The 4 is sort of like ambivalence. The 4 is ambivalence. It's like, it's just reiterating. Don't care. Let's see what else is on top. Yeah, and it's because you do care about what other people think. I think it's friends and family. With the 6 and the 2, it could be that. Let me see what's on the bottom. Jupiter. You're putting way too much stake on what other people think of how you look. That's the message here. So I don't know how you can care less about something like that. It's like it isn't that important unless you make it that important. You know, it's kind of cliche to say, but yeah, it's all about how you feel about yourself. It's not about what other people think of you. So if that helps you make a decision, you know, about how you want to look, it's not about how other people see, it's about how you feel about yourself. I feel like that is pertinent to that decision, right? If you want to dye your hair blue, if you want to, you know, grow your hair long, and that's unusual. That's unusual for your particular build, whatever. Do whatever makes you happy is essentially the message here. I'm trying not to be too cliche about it, but that is the message. Okay, guys, that is your reading for today. Again, as I'm shuffling, the cat comes out. You guys are too careful. It's sort of reiterating. I feel like you guys are careful people. You're a little bit too careful. And I feel like you already know. You're just being too careful about it, and you're caring too much about other people's opinion. But that's it. I wish you guys all the best. I hope this reading kind of helped you guys in some way. And if this did resonate for you, please press the like button for me. That helps me out a lot with the algorithm and everything. And I'll catch you guys another time. Take care.